Okay, so welcome to Notes 2.5. First thing we're going to do here, we're going to draw our axis in the space provided. So just take a minute and draw your axis. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to plot these points. So it says on the centimeter graph paper, draw the quadrilateral ABCD. Quadrilateral is just a four-sided shape. And label the points. So we're going to start here. A is at -2, +2. So that's -1, -2, up 2. Right there. So that would be A. B would be at +2, 2. So that's 1, 2. Then up 2, 1, 2. So B is going to be right here. Then C is going to be at +2, -2. So that's going to be here. And then D is going to be at -2, -2. So that's going to be there. And then we are going to connect those dots. So just do your best to make this square. And then let's scroll down here, and it says, what is the perimeter of that quadrilateral? So perimeter, remember, we're going to add up all the sides. So the perimeter would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 4 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 plus 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So our perimeter, we just add up all the sides. So all the sides were 4, so that's going to be 4 times 4, or 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 16 units. And if we were being really, really extra, we would say, okay, well, that first side was going to be AB, plus the second side is BC, plus the third side is CD, plus the fourth side is AD. Right? That's how we would write this out if we were being mathy and extra. So what would be the perimeter, what would be the area? So remember, area we find by going the length times the width. So that's the length, we could say, is AB. And we're going to multiply that by the width, which we could say is AD. In both cases, that's 4. So the length from A to B is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the length of AD is also 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times 4 is also going to be 16. But this time we're talking about square units. So 16 square units, or we could write it like this and say units squared. So the definition of a square, all the sides are equal and all sides are at a right angle. Yeah, right, 4 right angles, 4 sides that are equal. We can say, yes, that is a square. And our justification, all sides are equal and all angles are 90 degrees. Okay, so that's all we got to do for that one. So let's go down and let's check out something a little harder. So again, we're going to put in our axis, right? We're going to draw in our axis, the X and Y axis. Let's do that a little bit better. A little cleaner. Okay, so we draw in our X-axis and our Y-axis. And then it says to label the points. So A is going to be at 1, 4. So that's up here. So this is A. B is going to be at -3, 1. So B would be here. C is at 0, -3. So that would be there. And then D is at 4, zeros. So D is going to be there. I want us to connect the dots. So we made what looks like a square. Looks like it. We don't know yet, but it looks like it. So now it says to find the perimeter of this quadrilateral ABC, but it's on a diagonal. We can't just count it. So if it's at a diagonal, we're going to have to use the distance formula. So we're still going to go, okay, the length of perimeter is going to be AD plus DC plus CB plus BA, right? Because that's what it takes for the perimeter. But since these are on a diagonal, we're going to have to use the distance formula. So I'm going to say, let's start with AD. So A is at 1, 4. D is at 4, 0. And we've got our x1, y1, x2, y2. And then we'll do the distance formula. So the distance formula is D equals the square root of x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. And we're going to sub in our points. So our x1 is 1. And let's erase that. Our x1, here. So our x1 is 1. And our x2 is 4. And our y1 is 4. And our y2 is 0. So we're going to subtract those. Take them to the square, take them to the second power, add them together, and take the square root. So 1 minus 4 is negative 3. 4 minus 0 is 4. Oops, not 40, 4. We take them to the second power, and we get negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. 9 plus 16 is 25. So the square root of 25 is 5. So the distance from A to D is a distance of 5, right on the money. And we could do the distance formula for all of them, but I'm going to give you a hint and say that the distance, if we did the distance for all 4 sides, we would get 5 on each side. So let's plug that in, and we're going to say the perimeter is going to be 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So our perimeter is going to be 20 units. And remember, so now let's find the area. So the area is always the length times the width. So we're going to say the area is going to be 5 times 5. So the area is 25 units squared. Let's skip this last question for now. That gets a little cloudy. Okay, so the big idea, if I had to sum everything up, the big idea here is that if it's on a diagonal, you must use the distance formula. So if it's just right on the axes, or if it runs parallel to the axes, we could count that. But since these are running diagonal to the axes, that means we need to use the distance formula. So for the assignment, you can actually, this would be extra credit, so you don't have to do this last page. But for this page, I'll even say you can skip 1 through 4. But for this one, you're going to have to draw the axes, right? And you could just do this on lined paper if you need. Or if you've got some graph paper, you could do that. Right, so just draw the axes first. And I want you to follow the directions, the same as we just did these 2 examples. So you're going to do it just like this. Start by plotting the points. So you would plot these points here. So 2, 4, 0, -2, and +2, -2. Right, so you'd get this right triangle. Oops, I did it wrong. There we go. So you get this right triangle. And they want you to find the perimeter and the area for each one of these. So for a triangle, remember the area is going to be base times height divided by 2. And then the perimeter is always the same. You add up all the sides. So if this is X, Y, and Z, you'll say, okay, YZ, that's this one, which you can count, plus ZX, that's this side, do that in blue, this side, which you can also count, plus this last side, XY. That's on a diagonal though, so for that one, you'll have to use the distance formula. You'll plug each one of those in and then find your perimeter. Okay, let me know if you need any help with this one. I can set up a FaceTime meeting with you, or we can work that out. But good luck on this, and I will see you soon.